Hi, Stella from university. I am he. Has got Jerry. How are you today?
I'm doing very good, thank you.
From Tilt 5?
Yes.
Yes. Very exciting to share everyone there at home this new technology of, how do you say it, augmented tabletop reality,
You did it.
virtual reality.
Augmented reality.
There you go.
Yep. So, what we're doing is we're designing a system that allows you to see your game characters just spring up out of the table, allow you to take the best of video games and the best of tabletop games and bring them together. Things like being able to save your game, be able to play with people over long distances, to be able to work with real world objects and put fancy graphics and sound around them.
That's amazing. Okay, let me try for the first time before we talk more about it. Yes?
Yeah, here you
Shall
go.
we?
It's usually easier if you go over the top of your
Right.
head. So you should see a bunch of
Oh my God.
yeah, it's just springing up out of the table. There's these enemy that are going across the table, and if you take
Yes.
this marker and put it down, this is your turret, and it'll start shooting at the bad guys as they go by. And
So
you can
this
see
is
on
what this is what I look like, but it's 3D.
yeah. And so if we put this card down, this is going to power up a monument inside, which is going to send out these orbs that stun the bad guys.
Am I able to swing the computer a little bit that way, please? Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now if we put this card down, this will open a trap door at the far end. So if you stand up and look, you can look down into that trap door,
Oh,
and you
wow.
can see like this fire swirling around, and the
Correct,
guys are
yes.
they're going down, they're falling into it.
That's correct.
Yeah, and so now I can switch to a more traditional board game.
Yes.
This is from one of our partners, Hornbill. They're doing locomotives. It's a game where you're a bandit and you have
Yes.
to take over resources, and it looks like a real card game, and it's all
It is.
the cards
It's
are
like,
right here.
Come up to me and like, hang on, I'm gonna reach it. No, it's not. I can't reach it.
So one of the beautiful things of our system is so you can see your hands, you can see your pizza, you can see your friends, and you
Yes.
can all sit around the table.
So
Want me to
is
take
this,
them up?
Yeah, sure, yeah. That was amazing.
Yeah.
So, what games are available
So-
through the system?
So we've been working with about a dozen partners, and they range from pure video games, action video games, shooters. We have some real-time strategy games. On our website, we've been making announcements every week of these games. And we've been working with companies like Hornbill that are doing traditional cardboard-style board games and converting them to digital games. And we have some really exciting announcements in September when we do our Kickstarter campaign for some real like Dungeons and Dragons licensed content.
Oh, that's going to be big. Like, as Dungeons
Yeah.
and Dragons, they want it as reality as possible. And did you mention that you can play this with your friends not in the same room?
Absolutely. So you can bring friends together in the same room, and then you can also play any mix of that with people remotely. And what's exciting is if you have a long campaign, you can actually pause the campaign, save it, and come back the next day. So what we really want to do is break down the barriers of like getting people together to play games. Like, I'm excited about jumping into a game, just a pickup game, and just playing with strangers,
Absolutely.
or having an extended campaign with my friends that maybe aren't able to come over all the time.
That's the thing. We've got one of our friends, now gaming group. His feet were injured. So it's like, okay, well, we can't have gaming, like, hang on.
Yeah.
It's like, and, okay, yeah, our friend's it's gone overseas, and what do we do? So, like, we can
they
keep
can
going with D&D adventure. Yeah.
Exactly. And so, it's great because you can play all different types of games, and you can play with people that are all different skill levels. So, but one of my problems I have with games is my friends are very skilled at these games, but I'm not very skilled. So I always feel like I'm at a deficiency until I learn the rules. For me, since I have a private view into this virtual board game, I can actually have helpers and rule assistants where my friends have to play, maybe more advanced.
It makes it easier as well. You just play straight away. There's assistants
and then like Warhammer type experiences where you're putting real physical objects on the table. You can have things like line of sight and hit radius calculated for you. And if your friends are somewhere remote, you could put your real physical object down, your miniature down, and they could see a holographic version.
Wow.
And so that really is going to change the way that people play games like Warhammer.
That's correct. So with the cards or the object that you put, that part of the games that you can program, or how does that work?
Well, some of our partners that are making content, they'll provide maps, they provide adventure packs. Then some of these tools don't exist quite yet, like some of the stuff like Warhammer. There's going to be some exciting things, and the tools will eventually come where, like you put your dragon down, you could drag and drop fire, so it's shooting fire, or you can indicate the damage that it's taken.
Automatically.
Yeah, automatically. So we want to provide tools, since we're just a hardware manufacturer, this is a tool to enhance, and then the player can choose at what level. Yeah, we learned that early on. We went to talk to some Warhammer folks, like, hey, we could totally digitize everything about your game. Isn't that great? And they were like, no, we think that sucks. Like, part of the excitement is painting our miniatures and like putting them down and moving them. So we don't want them completely digital.
So that's why you can still do that, and then...
So we went back to them and we were like, well, what if we could just do like hit radius and keep score for you? And they're like, well, we'd be excited about that, right?
That's excellent. So before we go, I just want to ask, just tell me a little bit about you, so your team, like, who's in your team. And
yeah, we're a relatively small team. I worked at Valve Software. I was part of their R&D department that did the HTC Vive VR headset, and actually part of this technology came from there.
So experienced. Yeah.
And then I had another startup where a group of us were building a similar system to this, and it didn't quite work out. But the group of us, the employees, we were so excited about it. We went and we purchased the assets, and we built Tilt 5, the company, around those assets, because it's such a great piece of technology and a great tool.
Totally.
And so that the core of our team are like believers that have been there the entire time and just will do whatever it takes to make sure this gets out.
And great, like you're the CEO and you're women. So,
yeah, I know, it's challenging.
I talked to Amy as well, like 2 women. That's awesome. And
we have a very good balance in our company. Like, we're very diverse, which is great, which is not typical of a lot of tech startups.
Right.
So we're proud of that, and also our social media. Like, we're trying to be very genuine, and like if folks go check out our Twitter or some of our social media, we'll see that we're very candid and honest. Like, when things go wrong, we talk about it. When things go right, and we're trying to be the anti-corporate company.
Of course, I guess that's how it works these days, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that fits into the ethos of like GenCon and board games anyway. It's like, it's not corporate.
Totally.
Yeah.
So if people want to find out, people watching this video want to find out a bit more about it, where should they go?
Yeah, so www.tilt5.com, spelled out Tilt5. And we're doing a Kickstarter in September approximately. And if you sign up on our mailing list, there's going to be some discounts. So you can find our mailing list on the website. And follow us on Twitter. That's where we have the most activity, and we engage a lot. And you'll probably see a lot of memes there and joking around, but we're having a good time.
Good. I'll put the link in the description below as well, so
thank you.
Everyone can check that out. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, thanks.
So exciting.
I hope you liked it.
Yeah, it's fun.
It was fun.
I wish I had more time, but
Yeah.
next time. Thank you so much. Thanks, Jerry.
Bye-bye.